Hello. Um, I hope you're all having a wonderful day. And today, once again, we're here with the daily readings. And today's a great reading. We have the story, today's gospel of the sinful woman who comes and she's washing Jesus' feet and literally drying it with her hair. And meanwhile, the Pharisees who had Jesus in his home is watching this and judging him and thinking, surely if he knew who she was. And to that, we have Jesus respond, with the story of there's two creditors who, or two debtors who go in front of their creditor, and one owes a lot of money and the other owes a little, and the creditor forgives both debts. And Jesus says, which one of these men love him more? And Simon rightfully says the one with the larger debt that was forgiven. And for me, today, I hear that, and I think honestly more of a story I heard years ago from the other end about not so much our love for God but God's love for us, and it was a story a Jesuit priest told about God's love for the poor, and that was something he had always struggled to wrap his head around that idea, and he talked about living and working in El Salvador, and there was a woman who invited him to her home, and he agreed to go, and it was always a challenge because they would give all their food, and it would be a big ordeal, but there was also, and he knew they didn't have it to give, but there was also an issue of respecting everyone's dignity, and this woman, it was a big honor to have the Catholic priest to dinner, and he went, and as she's preparing the meal, she's a single mother with, it was 4 or 5 kids running around, and he's, messing around with them. He's got one on his lap, and he jokingly says to this woman, he says, which one of these is your favorite? And in a moment that it was intended for a laugh, instead he got a very pregnant pause, and this woman took a moment and really looked serious. And she said in that moment, she looked him in the eye and she said, I suppose whichever one needs me most. And then he went on to say, that idea of that was a moment for him that was so profound, where he could understand God's unconditional love for the poor, those who are broken and need the love of God most. Are oftentimes we hear these experiences of people who have these great encounters with their faith, and for me today, I think it's just it's a simple reminder as we continue to kind of navigate this experience. There's students, kind of alumni of youth ministry who are doing well, and we have some whose schools are closing and they're sending them back, and they're going to have to go virtually now. There's frustration from people I know who work in education who are nervous. And there's just all of us have different places, and some are doing really well. But for those of who may be struggling with family, struggling with addiction, struggling with whatever during this time, it's such a great opportunity today to be reminded that God and our faith meet us where we are. And oftentimes it's in those moments of real brokenness and real sadness that our faith can at times be most accessible. So whether that is you and where the need is, or if you're just someone who is doing well, and needs to take this opportunity to pray for someone who needs the help, and the clarity and the vision and the wisdom of our faith, and that everyone is well. I wish you well. Hopefully I see you here soon. And until next Thursday, I wish you a very wonderful week. Thank you.